In my last video, when I went into mindfulness in the whole short attention span situation, I talk about the thoughts and how it can control and influence people. To become a master of the self is to actually the control or to become a master of your own thoughts. It means to not let your thoughts control you and your body in a way that's negative in general. Because of the fact that people are ruled by their own thoughts and their own attitudes, their own beliefs. Like it's on autopilot. What I'm trying to get at is the fact that we as a species have no idea how we work as a collective in general in total. There's people out there who truly don't know themselves, and that's a problem because of the fact that the people who are at the top of this hierarchy of this enslavement, because let's face it, this system is a system of economic enslavement and servitude. Know very well how other people work. There's people out there who know how they work, yet these people themselves don't know how they work. I'm talking about the people who are the victims. I mean, you gotta understand that if you don't know yourself, you're setting yourself up for serious manipulation by those who seek to control others or keep them down. And people need to start looking into not just controlling their thoughts, not just controlling their thoughts, but having awareness of how their thoughts have an influence over themselves, particularly negative thoughts. But to actually understand the subconscious mind and all the various other facets of how our mind works and how we take in things on a daily basis that have been influencing us subconsciously, especially since that starts at childhood, and how we're influenced greatly by what we took in during our childhood, the formative years, in other words. People have no clue or idea that they're running on autopilot. People don't question why they have certain fears or anxieties and where it comes from. They never said to themselves, wait a minute, is this really me? Let me tell you something, it's not you. It's all the negative trash that has gotten into your mind. We could call it due to the environment, due to various different minor and major traumas people have gone through their personal lives. We need to, for a minute here, start to really think about what drives us, what motivates us, and why we say and do the things we do. For 1 second, people go their whole entire lives without once understanding why they do what they do. They don't look deeply at themselves and why they do it. They don't look themselves in the mirror. And a lot of it's due to the fact that a lot of people have a lot of fears within themselves of doing it. So, and like I said, and that's also a subconscious thing. The fact that people have fears of doing that, to go in within themselves and ask why I do this or that on a daily basis. But anyway, I just want to talk about how lately I've been finding out more and more and more that a lot of the things that have been influenced in me negatively is from old, like I said, it comes back from the old programming. And I've been working on dealing with that old programming. And the more I do it, the more I realize that I become more empowered. I feel like I'm starting to become more powerful. I mean, because I've been working on myself a lot lately. And when you start to look at this stuff with an honest face, you just have to, and you realize, and you just let go of what's holding you. You let go of that trauma that's causing you to feel a certain way. Once you do that, you start to feel more empowered. That's something I've been noticing. You become more powerful as an individual. The last few days, I've been feeling like I can take on the world, so to speak. Even though I don't have any delusions. I don't have any delusions because I understand how this world works very well. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of this programming and limiting beliefs, most people have no idea how much is holding them back as individuals to go out and do what they do best from an individual standpoint. Because right now, like I said, we're in a critical time. And during this time, it's best that you get rid of as much limiting beliefs and programming within you as possible. And the funny thing about it is, I think it only gets easier the more you do it, the more you get used to doing it. It's just a lot of it is weird because I noticed that there are certain things about myself that still get to me, and I'm wondering, wait a minute, why does it influence me this way? I don't. I mean, I know that my inner higher aspect is not influenced by it, but the lower aspect of me is really influenced by it, and I can feel this detachment from what the lower aspect of me feels about whatever limiting belief is affecting me. You can feel that detachment. I hope you understand where I'm getting at. What I'm trying to say is the fact that I know that I'm above whatever limiting belief is holding me back, but at the same time, you're still influenced by it. And you're thinking, how's that so? I don't feel like it should be influencing anymore. Because of the fact that you realize the fact is that it's a subconscious program that is deeply nested within your subconscious mind. And you have to get to the root of it. There's various different ways of doing it. One of them is pretty much hypnotic regression, but long story short, I hadn't got around it. I mean, there's ways of doing this self hypnosis, or you can pay if you have the money, pay for a professional hypnotic regressionist to help you out with that. But for most people, that's not an option, and most people don't know how to hypnotize themselves, or don't know how to. Like I said, there's ways of probably to actually use suggestions to help you actually get over your programming, but I don't do those things personally because of the fact that I guess I tend to be impatient, and the fact that I currently have a history of not being able to actually, I have a hard time in actually getting into my own subconscious mind. I can do that in the morning time though, but when during the day, I have a hard time doing that. Long story short. Instead, what I do is just I looked at the problem and I say to myself, well, you're just going to have to start doing things despite of this programming. And, but I don't know what, hold on, let me think. Oh, okay, this is what I do. I reason with the situation. I reason with the problem. I say to myself, what this fear, this subconsciously nested within you, what you're going to have to do with it is deprogram yourself by actually completely not letting these negative things, this negative influence have a hold on you by actually transmuting that negative influence into a positive influence. Take that limiting belief and actually turn it into actually override it. You override it by actually practicing the opposite of that limiting belief. But you have to keep doing it consistently. That's what you have to do. Essentially, just rewriting and rewiring what is been programmed into your mind. That's what I do. That's how I've been working it lately. Lately, I just pretty much have to start. I have to pretty much have to keep repeating it over and over again, repeating the opposite of what caused that. For example, let's say your limiting belief is, let's say you feel like you're not good enough. You've been programmed into thinking by your environment or by the people in it or whatever that you're not good enough. You rewrite it by actually saying by actually practicing and thinking that the idea that you're not good enough is a lie, that it doesn't represent the real you. You have to actually practice things out there that actually represent that by being the best you possible, by doing things that you're good at, and doing things that you feel that doing the things that you're talented at. Looking at you, because every soul being on this planet got some kind of gift or something that actually defies them that is positive, and that they can use that as an influencer that influences the world, in other words, or themselves. Start looking at all the good things about yourself and stop thinking about the things that you want to be or wish, or the talents you wish to have, or stop looking at your flaws so much. Stop thinking that your flaws are what defies you. There's a lot of things out there. Look, I got a lot of flaws, and there's a lot of things about myself I wish there wasn't. But dwelling on those things are not going to solve anything. It's only going to make it worse. See, this is the biggest theme I've been noticing throughout the last 10 years. That I got to stop focusing on things that are not going to take me anywhere. By thinking, oh, I don't have this or that with my life. What's the point of dwelling on it? It's going to continue to be the same way. You're going to continue to attract that same thing over and over again because of the fact that your mind's in that loop. of actually by actually repeating that over and over again. It's creating this endless cycle. Instead of that, you need to actually start thinking differently. And I don't mean that what I mean by that is by, like I said earlier, like I said a few minutes ago, that you have to focus on what you have and what you have and what defines you positively. Because everybody has things that positively define them. Look within yourself. I can't tell you what that is because you know yourself better than anyone else. If you have a problem doing that, then your exercise and your homework is to actually take a piece of paper out and start writing things about yourself that you like about yourself. Things that you feel defines you positively, or things or things you can do to influence this reality positively, or that you're already doing already. For example, that if you had a talent or whatever, and you're utilizing that talent or whatever. I am trying to explain this as best as possible because honestly, this is one of these videos that are out of nowhere, and I am doing this video because right now I feel that I need to put something out, and it's not coming out very well, this message, but I think people are starting to get the point. I hope so. But anyways, like I said, you have to know yourself. You have to do that, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to evolve in consciousness. You're not going to be able to truly become empowered as an individual. Because all day I can talk about personal sovereignty and empowerment, but what use is all those things if you can't empower yourself by actually starting to, one by one, start to get rid of your limiting beliefs? When you start doing that, it doesn't mean you need to go to the big things first. Start out small and work your way out if you have to. Or work on something you feel that has to be addressed immediately. That's what I'm trying to point out. Because if we don't do those things as well, like I said, you're going to be open to all sorts of manipulation by people out there who understand that a lot of people out there have a lot of limiting beliefs, and they're going to use that against you. So that's pretty much it for now. I'm probably going to make another video about this in the meantime, but for now, I just want to put this out because I just want everybody to understand that when you say something, do something, especially if it's negative, ask yourself, did it come from you, or did it come from your programming and all the other trash that's come into your mind based on thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that are doesn't represent your higher aspect? That's what I'm trying to say. So that's one way of expanding your consciousness. Because right now I'm on that journey, and I'm not some guy that's sitting here at this time of me of putting this video out. I'm not saying that I've done it all. I'm this guy that's telling you, oh, this is how you do it. No, because I'm just like everybody else. I am fighting my way up that ladder in this fog, in this reality of deceptions and lies, in disempowerment. I am still in that, trying to untangle myself as well. I'm just having other people who are on a similar path to do this as well, or people who are not on that path of doing it yet. That's what my point of what I'm doing right now, in the point of this video. Oh, I forgot to add one more thing. As for dealing with negative thoughts, it's not really it's not about suppressing the thoughts, because that's not going to make it better. It's going to probably make it worse. That's the last thing to do, suppress thoughts, is the negative thoughts, or any thoughts that are actually hindering to the higher aspect of yourself. What it's about is actually mindfully letting the thoughts pass away. Because you're going to just observe the thought, but don't react to it. Just observe the emotion, feel the emotion. And when I do this, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I can't believe how much influence this emotion has over me. I mean, I can feel all this anger, or I can feel this depressive feeling, and you can feel it in you. You gotta mindfully let it go. Don't dwell on it. I mean, yes, you're gonna think about it, but at the same time, don't dwell on it. Try to like I said, mindfully just let it pass away, or better yet, do other things. But like I said, it's not about pretending it doesn't exist or actually suppressing it. It's about letting it just float away, because thoughts are pretty much like a echo. I mean, sooner or later the echo just fades away. You're gonna hear the loudness of that echo. It's gonna be like it does that. It's pretty much like that. That's what I'm trying to point out when it comes to dealing with thoughts. And that's it for now, because like I said, I got more to talk about with this in the future, because I know there's more to talk about. I could go on and on about it, but this is just pretty much a quick message I just want to get out.